The lighter.
What is that?
Why?
What's the lighter? What's the lighter?
I'm doing a lighter because, first of all, it is my special Tanya Evelina lighter with my picture on it.
Oh, okay.
Shout out,
Yeah,
shout out to cousin Kelly for giving me a whole set with my picture on it.
Give you a
And
whole set. She gave you a whole set?
A whole case, like a whole 10-pack of Miss Tanya lighters. Am I really vain, or am I really vain and narcissistic? Yes. So shout out to Cal. But I was also lighting it because obviously it's Hot Topics Thursday. And Chris, what are you doing? What kind of tricks are you doing right now? Oh, okay. Oh, wait a minute now.
Okay.
That's it.
Can I pick a card?
Any card. Pick a card. Any card. Well, it is Hot Topics Thursday. Hot Topics Thursday, y'all. And we're
a day late. We're a day late.
Hot Topics.
We're a day late. But, real life gets in the way.
Happens.
Life happens, real life. And we also have to kind of open this up with a RIP. I think
somber.
Everybody was in, and probably still is in, a state of shock at the loss of Chalky White, aka Omar, aka I forgot the name of the character he played in our show on HBO, and I can't remember it off the top of my head. But anyway, Michael K. Lovecraft Country, yes. Michael K. Williams has left us, and I'm telling you, loved him. I first became aware of him watching Boardwalk Empire. I hadn't watched The Wire when The Wire came out. Everybody kept saying how great it was, and I'm like, yeah, I'll get to it. But him as Chalky White in Boardwalk Empire, friggin' epic, to the point where I had to watch The Wire. Because I was like, everybody was like, you have to see him as Omar in The Wire. And I watched it. And then, of course, Lovecraft Country. And then When They See Us on Netflix, the film about the Central Park Five. I mean, everything that man has been in, he has been epic in. So I just want to, I'm not going to touch upon, the reasons of his demise, because I'll let the media handle that. But he was just a great actor as far as I'm concerned. And he will be sorely missed. Chris, I'm assuming you can talk to that, because this is the business that you are in. So I can only imagine that this has got to be a loss for especially Black Hollywood.
Yeah. One of the things I liked about his work was that he was intense, but there was a gentleness to his intensity. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Perfect sense.
There was a I don't want to say a softness to his intensity, but it was like I always felt that he cared, even though even with Omar, any of his characters, even when they're thugs or this, that, and the other, there was always an underlying sense of kind of a morality or a humanity, so to speak, in all of his things. So he allowed his spirit of who he was to come through, even if the circumstances with the characters weren't there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So so even as a villain, I mean, as a good actor, if you're a villain, you want to empathize with the villain or sympathize, going, oh, I hate that dude, but I kind of get it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So if you can make someone feel, oh man, that dude is so-and-so, but I can see why he's doing this, but and if you love to hate them, he always had a nice humility to his acting, and that's what I'll miss.
One of the things I liked about him was exactly what you were saying, that I felt like all of his characters were so multidimensional that he was able to bring in that humanistic side, softness to it, like you said, with Omar being like, you know, a really bad guy, but there was a piece of him that was so human and so empathetic and so sympathetic to other people that you really grew to love his character. But the thing I liked about him the most is I watched a lot of his projects, but then I listened to a lot of his co-stars talk about him after the projects, not now, like years ago with the following, you know, the last few years, and they've always said the nicest things about him, how caring he was, how loving he was, how generous he was with his time, you know, how community oriented he was. So I really liked him as a whole being, and I knew some of his struggles. And I think he, at one point he was dating, I keep calling her Tasha, and I know that's not her name. I keep calling her Tasha. She was in like Why Did I Get Married To, the real loud one. At one point they were dating.
Oh yes, they're twins. There's like two of them.
Right. Her sister's name is Cedra, but I can never remember her name. But and I like both of them. And she was, when they were first dating, I was rooting so hard for that. But I was glad that they were able to kind of like separate and still remain close friends. So I know she's really hurting right now. But yeah, he just seemed like it. Chadwick was a huge loss because he was so young. And then him, because he had such a great body of work, but there was so much more work you could see him doing.
Yeah.
It's
also
really sad.
What I also liked about him is the fact that having the scar on his face and being a dark black man to most, not people, but to some white people, he looks intimidating, or he could look like someone who you wouldn't want to fuck with. But it's almost kind of like the gentle giant, like the guys who are 7 feet tall are 7. Know they can crush you like this, but are really nice and gentle. So I don't know if he counteracted his look with how he is, how he portrayed stuff. I think that, you know, must have played into it, because that's hard to overcome. I think I sent you the thing about
typecasting.
Remember I sent you the thing where the typecasting? Yeah.
I really like that. I really like that.
So what we're talking about is one video, I don't know what he did it for, talking about typecasting, where he was 4 different versions of himself in this one thing, talking about typecasting. So
I think it was for Atlantic Magazine. He did it for Atlantic Magazine. For whatever.
Can I just talk about this Evelina scent right now?
Is it
that our lovely Tanya Evelina's new? Let's promote this shit. This is the pineapple mango Irie wax. This is the whatever advertisement. I'm gonna do this shit. Oh shit. And you melt the things. You melt them in here with a little tea candle. And it smells wonderful, Tanya. So thank you very much for these things. You can get the Evelina waxes and candles at.
Well, the website is not done yet. So, but you can follow me on IG it's Evelina_LLC.
It's very good.
LLC.
That was a note from our sponsors.
Yes, right. But one thing I wanted to touch upon with Michael K. Williams is his humbleness and his approachability, because you don't see that a lot with Hollywood and, you know, actors of a certain status, I should say. But Kev on Stage posted, I don't know if you
saw that.
Kev on Stage posted on IG a story basically, and he saw Michael K. Williams in the airport, and he said he approached him, and he said that he just basically told him, he was kind of like intimidated at first, like, should I approach him? Because I don't know, he might just be like, piss off, whatever. but he said he did. And he told him that he was just a big fan of his. He liked his body of work. And he was like, he was so impressed at the fact that Michael was just like, thank you. He was so appreciative and he was so humble and he was just so happy that someone acknowledged what he has done. You know what I mean? And he had also stated that he had saw Nipsey Hussle like several months before that or a year before that. And he didn't approach him because he was intimidated and he didn't know how Nipsey was going to take him. And he said, and then of course Nipsey died like shortly after. So that's why he said he approached Michael K. Williams, because he was like, I never want to be in a position where I have a person in front of me that I admire and I want to tell them that I admire their body of work or just admire them as a person. And I don't, because who's to say they're not going to be here? So that kind of like threw me for a loop. So it's like, wow, usually I kind of, when I used to travel for work, I used to see a lot of celebrities through the airports a lot. And I used to ignore the shit out of them because I was like, what you ain't going to do is have me come and approach you. And then you fucking give me the gas face. And now I'm going all ghetto up and they're like, fuck you. You shit just like I do. You ain't no better than me, whatever. So I've never really approached anybody, but I think I will now if I see somebody and be like, hey, especially if I'm a fan.
You know who the first person I ever approached was Stephen King.
Stephen King?
At the movie theater. Cleveland, remember Cleveland Circle?
Yes.
That movie theater over there. And he was in front of us. And I don't know what movie we were seeing because I was still in high school. And he was there with his wife. And I'm just like to my mother, I'm like, and we're just, but we're.
I already know you must have come undone, Stephen.
Right,
King.
But I didn't say anything. I just was just like, and I know he sees I'm geeking out behind him. But the next day, I don't even know where we were going at the airport, Logan Airport. I see him at the airport, and then I spoke to him because I'm like,
this is nice though. Huh? Was he cool?
No, he was very, very nice. I told him I had like.
Didn't you guys both approach a celebrity about doing a podcast?
Yes, and we were so appreciative. We were so appreciative when I was like, I'm gonna take a chance and be like, I'm gonna DM his ass, and when he was like, let's do it, I was like, yeah.
I would have never.
Until we did the podcast with you, Chris, I was still thinking, we're being catfished right now. Like, that's not really
by me. Like, I was catfishing you.
Yeah, I thought that you were. I thought that no, he's not gonna. That's not really him.
I don't understand. Who else would it be though? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like,
I don't know. I
know people have people on their accounts, I guess.
Or not catfish, but I was kind of. I shouldn't say catfish.
Interesting.
I said like maybe you were just gonna blow us off. Like you're like, yeah, sure. I'm in lockdown in Vancouver in the hotel. And then I'll send you my email.
I didn't think you were going to show up either.
I was like, he's not going to show up. Yeah. I think I was on.
Thank you. Oh, ye of little faith.
Yeah. But we didn't know you then. And you're like, you are a celebrity. So we're like, yeah, he's going to be like, piss off, bitches.
What is the next topic of discussion?
Okay.
Why is 50 Cent an asshole?
Because he's trash.
Why? What did he do now? I didn't even hear about it. What did he do now?
Go ahead, Shahida.
Well, I didn't read the whole thing, but it was his post after, Michael passing.
Died?
And it was something about, he did one post about like drugs. I can't remember exactly what he said.
I'll say it. He put a post on Instagram with Michael K. Williams' picture, but basically turned the post into like an advertisement for his show on Stars, the spinoff to Power.
I didn't know that.
Evidently, I don't watch that. So evidently there's a scene in this new show where somebody dies of a fentanyl overdose. So he basically, before we found out, I mean, we knew that Michael Williams passed, but we didn't know the reasonings. And he put it out there yesterday or the day of his passing.
They said it pretty quickly. So that's why it was so disgusting when he did it.
Yeah. But he basically was like, oh, fentanyl, you know, it was in our show. Oh, it's no joke and nothing to be played with, whatever. So he basically kind of like used this man's death as a plug for his show, which I thought was very like trash and low class, and just say RIP and keep it moving. Like, you don't have to talk about your show. Or anybody that
I was talking about, though.
I showed you this, right?
No, what is that?
No. Oh, wait. DEA illustration of 2 milligrams of fentanyl, lethal dose in most. Yeah. No, I didn't. You didn't send us that. I didn't see that.
That's all you need. That's all you need to overdose on fentanyl. And so they're putting it in cocaine and stuff.
And they're putting it in heroin.
They're putting it, and did you hear about the 4 comedians here?
Yes, I heard. I've heard about one. I forgot his name.
There's 4 comedians here that were partying. 3 of them died, and one, Cat Quigley, was in the hospital, and they all died from fentanyl in the cocaine, because it's like 30 times more powerful than heroin or some shit like that.
And that little bit.
Yes.
That's scary.
You don't need much.
Very scary.
No.
Putting stuff up your nose. I've never done cocaine.
Neither.
I knew that if I had done it.
I've never done it.
Oh.
Tanya, you know where I did cocaine at?
Let me guess.
One of your work parties.
I just did.
No. 12th grade.
Please tell me at the House of Cathedral.
At the House of Cathedral, in the library. Raul.
What's that? What's the House of Cathedral?
Our high school, when we graduated high school. Shahida Ali.
Raul. Remember Raul?
Yes.
Him. A line. In the library, in the back. And
so what did it feel like?
I don't think
do you remember?
It probably was because if I got high, I didn't feel it. I think I was so paranoid at the thought that I actually did this that
I am just floored, girl. I thought you was gonna say, at the old job house back in the day, with our little parties.
No, high school. 12th grade.
I've never done it, and I can honestly say I'm gonna be vain right now. The only reason why I've never tried it, because I went to the University of Miami back in the day with the cocaine cowboys, and cocaine was like, I went to my
everywhere in Miami.
I went to my share of parties where mountains of cocaine was all on the tables. It was just there for the taking. The only reason why I never tried it was because I was too vain. I had always been made fun of because when I was younger, everybody made fun of my nose and said that I had a big, giant, puffy ass nose. And so I was like, insecure about my nose.
What's wrong with your nose?
I used to get made fun of a lot when I was in high school and in college about my nose. People used to be like, "That nose is so big," and even in my family, people would talk about my nose like, "Your nose is so big," and I'm just like, whatever. So I wouldn't
have said that at all.
I was insecure because I was like, I wanted to try it because I'm in college. I'm like, I want to smoke some weed, I want to drink some alcohol, and I want to try some blow. I would not try it because I was like, the last thing I need is to swell these nostrils up anymore.
No, they were afraid that you were just going to take all of it. They were afraid you're just going to take all of it.
I think they were afraid I was going to do a Scarface and just lay on the table and go. Yeah, but no.
I knew that I would get addicted to it.
Really?
If I tried it once.
Personality?
You can't.
What?
What were we just talking about? Never mind. Exactly. I knew that you can't have your 4th drink if you don't have your 1st.
Okay.
So I was like, I don't want to fuck with that shit. I don't want to mess with it. I don't want to get anything that I'm gonna get addicted to.
Yeah.
I just substances that I'm just not into them. So it was like I tried it and I never had like I said, it could have been baking soda for all I know. It was fucking Raul. But I'm just I don't know. But I've just never had the desire to want anything more than a drink. You know what I'm saying? Not even weed. I didn't like weed. I didn't like smoking, when I was younger. Just the idea. No.
Oh yeah, I smoked it. I would have smoked weed. I mean, I smoked cigarettes for the longest time. So yeah, cigarettes, weed, and alcohol was my vice.
I didn't drink at all in high school. I would be the person at the party because my uncle died of alcoholism. And I was so against illegally drinking it, like being too young and drinking alcohol, that I wouldn't even eat rum raisin ice cream. I didn't want to get used to the flavor. And I was like, I'd be at parties and someone stepped on a glass and it got blood in front. I was like, you see, if you weren't drinking, you wouldn't be hurt, right? I mean, that's the dude I was.
You were that dude. You were that dude, Chris.
I was that dude.
Yeah.
And then I graduated.
Embarrassment right now.
You should. And then it also was illegal. I'm a Boy Scout. I was a Boy Scout. It was illegal. So when I graduated from high school, my parents took me to Japan for my graduation gift. And I got drunk for the first time in Tokyo. And I was thrown up on the roof of the United States Embassy in Japan.
Oh boy.
I was on sours. Like whiskey, little sours or whatever, whiskey sour, whatever. Like,
were your parents laughing?
8 of them. No, they I don't know if they didn't see me do that.
Oh, they didn't.
I was out with some friends. Yeah. But yeah.
Wow, that's crazy.
No, I wasn't big, so but I'm very, very sympathetic to people who have addictive personalities or get addicted to whatever drugs. I can't imagine being a slave to that life.
Speaking of which, celebrity news wise, remember John Mulaney?
Yeah,
the comedian John Mulaney. John Mulaney
and Olivia Munn,
stand-up pregnant.
I know.
Who? What?
She's pregnant. He's been dating Olivia. He said in the past year, he was in rehab in September, went to rehab, was in there for a month, hosted Saturday Night Live, relapsed, moved to California, moved out with his ex-wife, met Olivia, relapsed again, was in for 2 months, was in sober living again, and now she's pregnant.
Wow.
But the way he did his ex-wife and how he left her.
Wait a minute. Wasn't who? I thought Olivia Munn, whatever her name is. Mum, as in my
Munn.
Oh, Munn. Okay. I thought wasn't she married to somebody?
No, she was dating a lot of motherfuckers. Aaron Rodgers, the quarterback for the. She's done a lot.
Oh, discount double check. Yes, discount double check.
And she was dating the baseball player too, wasn't she? Dating the one that Jennifer was engaged to. She was dating him for a while too, wasn't she?
Jennifer who?
Yeah,
Lopez.
Oh well, I mean, who? Oh,
Olivia Munn. This is a July 3rd. Olivia Munn's dating history from Chris Pine and Aaron Rodgers to Tucker Roberts.
Who the hell is Tucker Roberts?
She did a lot of dudes. Chris Pratt, Justin Theroux, Aaron Rodgers. Here, Brian Greenberg. Remember Brian Greenberg from
no,
whatchamacallit?
No,
he's good. I like him. Chris Pine. She did Brian Greenberg for 2 years, from 2007 to 99. Chris Pine for 5 months. And then had a 3-day fling with Justin Timberlake.
Oh.
Then Matthew Morrison.
Married for a long time.
Yep, then Matthew Morrison.
So she's
then like Brad Richards.
So she's kind of outdone
Then Joel Kinnaman.
Oh, I like that guy.
Who?
Then Aaron Rodgers. Then Alex Gonzalez. I don't know who that is.
Damn, she's like
and Tucker Roberts.
I don't know who that is.
She's like the white
and
version
then
of
finally
Lori Harvey. But at least Lori Harvey ain't getting knocked up by these Negroes.
Well, this is only her first time that we know of.
Well, true. I always thought, wait a minute, I'm mixing Olivia Munn up with, who was the woman that was married to Jason Sudeikis and dumped his ass?
Oh, what's her name?
Something Wild.
Olivia Wilde. Olivia
Wilde.
Okay.
I was about to say Olivia Pope. It's Olivia Pope. Olivia Pope. Olivia Wilde.
Handle it.
Well, she did him dirty too.
How? Why? What happened?
She went with Harry Styles. They were on a movie. She's dating Harry Styles.
After they separated, though, right?
No.
I did not know.
And that's why
Harry Styles.
He's young.
Who's Harry Styles?
I said, how old is he?
I think he's 30. I don't
he's
even
young.
think he's 30. Yeah.
No, he's young. She's 37. He's 27.
No wonder why Jason Sudeikis showed up to the Emmys all banged up.com when he won that Emmy or whatever he won. And he showed up with his hoodie on and he was toe up from the flow up, child. And that's when I realized that she had left him, because that was all on the internet. So everybody was like, why is it on the entertainment TV show?
She was and she was the director on the movie, and then they started to.
They did a whole what's that? What's those two? Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt bullshit right there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So Jason Sudeikis needs to holler at Jennifer Aniston and do the horizontal hustle, if you know what I mean.
Why? Why would she do that with him?
Well, why not?
No.
Who?
She is out of his league.
No, not
Who's
really.
Out of his league?
No, I don't think so. Not at this point, because
who's out of whose league?
Jason Sudeikis is the hot shit at the moment. He's been in a lot of shit, and he's got that damn bomb ass show on
Aniston. With who?
Aniston.
Oh, were they dating rumors?
No, I said she should. I said he should date her and do the horizontal hustle just to get back at old bitch.
Yo, Jay Aniston got long dough. That girl is rich.
Why would she be? I don't know.
Because you know who her daddy is, right?
She's still with Justin Theroux, though.
No, she's not. No more. They've been divorced. Oh. Do you know who her daddy is, though? That's why she got that long ass money. You know who her father is, right?
Isn't it? No, the dude on Days of Our Lives. What's his name?
Victor. Remember his name?
No, Victor's on Young and the Restless.
No, Victor's Young and the Restless. Who was
Look, she was making $1 million an episode.
That money's hers. I don't even think she didn't even like her father for
That's what I'm saying. She didn't need her father for that. She did that all on her own.
But I mean, that money's still there. That's what I'm saying.
Then she's a what?
She took her money and did it into real estate and real estate and real estate. Now she's got long dough.
Oh, really? Good for her. I like Jennifer Aniston.
I do too.
I do too, actually.
Huh?
I said I do too. I like her too.
You know what movie that I can watch over and over is the dumbest damn movie, and I'm embarrassed to say it. Just Go With It. You ever see that one? Just Go With It with her and Adam Sandler.
Never heard of it.
Really?
No, I've never heard of it. Just Go With It. No.
It's good. It's stupid, but it's one of my favorites. We all have our favorite stupid movies.
Who else are you talking about?
The one that I can watch over and over again is The Temptations. Ain't nobody coming here to see you, Otis. I love that shit. Every time it's on cable, I stop what I'm doing and I gotta watch it. I don't care if I'm 40 minutes in or 40 minutes late. I gotta stop what I'm doing and watch me some of them Temptations.
I don't even think
Who else are you talking about?
What, Lil Nas and what's his name? Boosie. I don't know these people. I don't care about
Boosie.
I don't care about Boosie.
I don't care about him.
All I'm gonna say,
listen, Lil Nas is trolling them, and they just fall into it. If you are homophobic, just keep scrolling. Just keep. He had the picture of him with the pregnant stomach or something, and the guy was like, "What am I gonna tell my son about this? Tell him that it's a fake stomach, that guys can't get pregnant. Just keep fucking moving." He's just doing it because he gets a reaction out of you every time.
Here's my thing on Lil Nas X. Look, he is who he is. All I'm going to say to this is, when you first came out with that Down Home Country Road song, or whatever the hell that song is, you literally were slutting yourself off to elementary schools, and you had these children infatuated with you, loving you, obsessing over you. And now you literally have these kids that have made you a gazillionaire, because I'm not a parent, but you think if I was a parent and my child loves this dude, I'm going to be like, oh my God, this is a cool little song. Okay. I'm going to buy the song. I'm going to make this man rich. Now he done went a total 360, and he's kissing men on stage, and he's coming out, that's his preview to his album is, I'm having a baby because I'm having an album. And it's like, how am I supposed to explain this to my children that loved Old Town Road dude with his fully clothed cowboy boots, cowboy hat, denim, Canadian.
Remember, he had the video where he was fucking the devil.
Exactly. I mean, all of this. How do you explain this to your children that literally 2 years ago were worshiping him, and now he's, fucking a devil or in a jail cell having sex with other guys in his music videos, and now he's pregnant, and now he's on the BET Awards tonguing down another dude? I think it's just kind of messy. I get it. He's, the shock factor, and
provocative.
He's even more famous and even more rich than he's ever been. But at the end of the day, you bear some responsibility to these children that friggin' worshipped you. That's just my 2 cents, and I'm done. I'm not a fan. I wasn't a fan of his when he first came out with that dumbass Old Town Road song. I thought it was stupid, and I thought that Billy Ray Cyrus was basically using him to, be relevant again. And yeah, didn't like the song. Wasn't a fan of his. Still not a fan of his.
It worked out for both of them.
I just don't like the fact that he did a 360, and now a lot of parents are having to explain to their children that, yeah, you can't watch. This is why you can't listen to Lil Nas X anymore.
I get it. I've never been. I'm not a fan of country music too much, so I wasn't a fan of the song. But him owing anything to somebody else's kids, you don't owe them nothing.
You're right.
Kids nothing. I mean, he came out with a song, and that was one version of who he is, and he has grown to something else. That
apparently
people change. And the thing with I don't have any young children to explain this to. I don't know how I would be like, oh well, he was PG at one point and now he's rated R. You have to have some type of control over what's in and out of your house. And I know it's very, very difficult, especially if you're watching TV, but he doesn't owe anybody
an explanation. You're right.
I'm not saying
you're exactly right.
No, I agree. I'm not saying he owes anybody anything, but it's just I don't really care at this point because I don't have no children to explain nothing to. But I really feel for parents out there that have to now explain to their children why they can't listen to his songs anymore.
No, first of all, parents aren't explaining shit to their children anymore because it's every information they can get. They don't ask them anymore because they get all the information from Instagram, TikTok, this, that, and the other. The interwebs. It's not like when we were growing up.
Right. Well, yeah, and you would think, a lot of these parents are letting their kid, just because they get the kids out their hair, they're letting them go in their room with the iPads, the computers, and everything. So
and half of the parents don't even know.
Yeah.
They don't even know who Lil Nas X is.
That is true.
or what he's been doing, or he's posing for. They're not paying attention to that stuff.
Yeah.
They got raising kids. They got other shit to handle.
Yeah, and we're not even touching Little Boozy or whatever the fuck his name is, because I don't even know who that
I don't
motherfucker
even.
is.
I
know he's a rapper. Just like I don't know half of these rap. Trick Daddy, I just found out who he is.
I don't understand how they have so much money, though. They all have so much money.
I don't understand that. I don't get it.
Look, if I can fake, even if I'm faking going like this with, you know, $3,000, $5,000, I don't have $5,000-$10,000 to be doing this. Hey!
Maybe they just keep it all at home.
Maybe they got a loan or some shit. They refi on.
What was that? I was like, cars. Something on the internet last week. They was like, who has like the best chain gear? And I didn't even realize that people were just still into that. Like these rappers were still into these. When I mean,
are they even real though? I always thought that they would be fake. I always thought that a lot of these celebrities, and maybe Chris, you can shed some light on this. I always thought that all celebrities basically that wore their like 20 karat diamond rings or these diamond necklaces. I always said in my head, I bet that's fake. Like, why would they wear that real shit out? Like, I would, if I got me a big 20 diamond carat ring from my dude, I'd be like, okay, we're going out in public. I'd get me a replica, that like a cubic zirconia or what do you call that? A sapphire that looks exactly the same, and I'll wear that out just in case I get jacked. I could be like, here, take it, and my good shit's at home.
So my earring, I was at a CBS event when I had my TV series, and Morgan Freeman came. He goes, "Is that real?" I said, "No." He's like, "Oh, come on, man." I was like, that was my interaction with Morgan Freeman. I was like,
that's funny though. Is that a true story?
Yeah. He said, "Is that real?" I was like, "No." He's like, "Come on, man." I was like, "Oh, well, I don't have. You won't pay because he wears two. I think he wears two big diamonds.
Of course he does.
Oh.
And he also
I like Morgan Freeman.
Dated his step granddaughter too. So I digress on that one. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if that was true.
Oh, it was true. Google that. Oh, that was true. Black Jesus.
His step.
All right. Look at here. We're coming to the end. Huh?
His step granddaughter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was some weird stuff going on with that.
Okay.
I mean, they weren't blood related, but still.
I don't understand what. Okay, getting back to the Jason Sudeikis and Olivia Munn and all that kind of stuff. Is there like a club that people are dating? Maybe it's Raya. You know about Raya? Is a dating site
for the celebrities, right?
Yeah.
I heard about that. You have to apply and then like get accepted or whatever.
Yeah, people have to accept you and some of the other. I'm like, who is how are they all dating each other? That's what I'm saying. Like,
so they're not how are you a website?
Maybe it's just the circles they all hang out and they just like or have my people call that person's people.
Well, where's the circle? Where's the circle?
Oh, you trying to get in the circle?
I'm trying to get close, at least close to the tangential. I'm trying to be a tangent in that motherfucker. Lay on the circle like this, like the circle's here.
In the circle.
First of all, let's get back to the conversation that we had this morning. Why isn't your ass on Dancing with the Stars? That's all I'm saying.
Good question.
I mean, seriously,
I'm not a celebrity enough.
Like I said,
look, if I can't get a guest star, no, people don't know who I am. Some people do, but not most people don't know who I am.
Guess who's on there? Friggin' the bitch whose parents, I don't even know her fucking name, Olivia Jade, whose parents literally went to jail because they paid money for her to go to USC for,
because you know her, because she was a news.
Her parents are famous.
Yes. And she's a YouTube person.
People know who you are.
People know if people knew who I was, I'd have more than 18,000 followers. I can tell you that much.
I just think it would have been a great thing. Like I was watching like I said to you guys, every year I watch it since it started, and I'm like, First of all, why hasn't Vanessa been on that?
What's her name? Is Olivia what? Olivia what?
Jade. Oh yeah, she's got a few million.
Yeah, she has a.
Yeah, she got 1.3 million people. That means that 1 million of them will be watching. You know, that's all they do. They just want people who have.
Which I don't understand
on there.
Why her parents paid for her to go to school. She did not want to go to college. She already had a road that was going to make her famous and money. If they had just left her alone, they look stupid.
Yep. All I'm saying is back to Dancing with the Stars. I just think that would have been an epic. That would have been an epic season. Have the Williams siblings on there. I mean, talk about sibling rivalry and shit. I mean, that shit would have been epic.
My sister would. They've asked my sister to do it before. They asked her to do it. She didn't want to do it.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say they had to have asked her because she's
they did. They did ask her.
I've never watched the show.
I went to it. I saw it when Wendy Williams was dancing.
Ooh, Wendell. Ooh, you went and saw Wendell with them cankles. Terrible.
Like how many episodes? Like one episode or?
I just went to one episode.
Oh, I was wondering, do they film one episode or do they film like multiple in a day? I'm like soap operas. I don't know.
No, they film one episode
because it's live because they do it live on TV. That's right. I don't know. I just think that you would be great because of your personality. So let's put it out there: ABC, Dancing with the Stars, Disney.
Can you dance?
You don't have to know how to dance. They got that old balls. They got the old balls.
I can do anything, Sheeta.
They got the old balls.
I can do anything.
Kai on there.
I got you.
They got the old balls from Cobra Kai from Netflix on there this season. So Chris can be on there. Shit, I'd rather look at Chris than look at that old balls.
But we don't want him voted off like right away. We want
but we could use our platform and be like, everybody vote for Chris.
What? Like our five viewers?
Yeah. So what? They got 5 viewers and they got 5 viewers and so on and so on. Word of mouth. Terrible.
All right, what else?
Finally, one last thing, because we know we've got to shut this down. One last thing that's been going around the Twitter sphere. Would you take $500,000?
Oh, come on.
Would you prefer to have dinner with Jay-Z? Dumbest question ever.
It is pretty
fuck
dumb.
That. I'll take the cash. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't want to have dinner with you. Just give me my money.
The thing that was funny was people trying to explain how it was more beneficial to have the dinner with Jay-Z because he can give you some insight on how to get $500K. And I think the insight would be, stupid, you should have took the money.
And you good.
And went on. And that's the end of the dinner. Bye.
That's it. The only time I would pass up that kind of money to have a sit down with someone not even a Jay-Z at this point, but someone like a Bill Gates or somebody like a Kazillion.
They passing up money for nobody.
Oprah?
Like Oprah or someone that would have to, like, if I had a business plan and you going to finance my goddamn business. Like, you going to give me my
That's not the deal. The deal is to sit there and talk to them and get their or whatever, have dinner or the money.
No. Then I don't want to talk to you.
Just I'm not talking to nobody. Give me the money.
I ain't talking to nobody.
I will take 20,000 of that and go to a charity event where they're having dinner and get plates at their table and slide another $10,000 donation to sit at the table and then have the conversation with Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Yeah, no, I would just be like, I don't care at this point. I don't care. Just run me my money. I would love. I'll make my own food.
Have an invite by Oprah Winfrey.
What?
I would love to be invited to have dinner with Oprah Winfrey.
I told you my Oprah Winfrey story, right?
No, you did not, sir.
Didn't I tell you my Oprah? No, I didn't tell you?
No.
So Vanessa was doing, this is like almost 30 years ago, probably.
Yeah.
Vanessa was doing she was doing one of those interviews with her, right? And they were doing the interview, and I just was there to see the shoot and interview. And it was lunchtime, and I sat we had chicken wings. I was getting the chicken wings and sitting there. Oprah grabs a plate and sits down next to me. And she says, "So, Chris, what do you do?" And I said, "Well, I'm trying to become an actor," and this, that, and that. She's like, "Oh, really? It's a tough business." And then they go, "Oprah, we need you." She's like, "Okay, well, it's really nice meeting you." And she gets up and walks away. And I was like, that's why Oprah's Oprah. She didn't have to talk to me. She didn't have to connect with me. She didn't have to ask me shit. But she sat her ass down next to me and talked to me. And I was like,
Did she have a plate of chicken wings too?
Yeah, she had a chicken wing. She was in the chicken wing with me.
You know Oprah like to eat shit. Girl, please.
But I'm just saying.
That was big. I think it was big Oprah too.
I was gonna say, was that big Oprah?
I think it was bigger. It was like 20 years ago. Yeah. But I was like, from then on, I'm like, Oprah, she's a shit.
I love Oprah.
She didn't have to talk to me. When people don't have to talk to you, they don't have to talk to you, and they're still or go out of their way to talk to you, and you're not on their status. That's what I always love. That's why I always talk to assistants. I always ask their names. I always ask assistants. The people who open the doors, they're the people who know this what's going on and can have your back whenever you need to. The little people, whatever, you never know. You never know what someone's going to be,
That's right.
This and that.
Here's my thing. I never thought of Oprah to be pompous like that, as in being like, dismissive. I've always thought of her as, I don't know if I would say approachable, but because you do with her handlers around her, you don't know how they are if you try to approach her because she is Oprah. But I would like to think that I'm not surprised that she sat down next to you, Chris, and was like, "So what do you do?" And just had like a minor conversation with you and then left. That's not surprising to me. I'd like to think that she does that a lot, depending on where she is, especially if she's interviewing someone. If she was interviewing Vanessa and you were there, that she would have dialogue with you.
But she didn't have to do that, is what I'm saying.
Right.
She didn't have to sit her ass down. It wasn't like I was there and we're in a group and she was like, oh, nice to meet you. So what do you do? No, she actually got her ass and sat. I could be making all this shit up in my head because that's all I remember. It's the story that I remember me telling you, because you remember it each time. Every time you say something that you remember, it's the last time you remembered it. That time. So at this point, Oprah came over and she was giving me a little handy, and I was like, "Whoa, Oprah, slow down."
But I was gonna say, wait a minute.
You lucky you had them chicken wings, Chris.
Oprah on Still Dope podcast.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, I
don't want to fight you. I don't want to fight you.
But that's what I'm saying. I love. Ever since then, I was like, I get it. I was like, I get why you're a billionaire. I get it, because that's the type of thing you do that people don't otherwise do. She's the shit.
We love
I like that.
And thank God you had chicken wings. That's all I'm saying, because she's no them chicken wings.
What bothers me too, like with Oprah, and I would find myself trying to defend her with certain things. It seemed like a lot of Black men hated her in the 80s and 90s. Hated her.
Really?
Black men.
Why? Why?
One of the reasons was they said that that she tore down Black men on her show. Did not happen. She did not do that.
I don't think so. She tore down the Black men that she was involved with on the show. Besides Stedman, like the past when she growing up and all that kind of stuff. But
she just told her story. That's just her story.
Yeah.
But I know quite a few women too who wouldn't watch her show either. But they were like along that Hotep thing or whatever. But I know a lot of Black men. It was in the 80s and 90s. They did not like her show. It was not for them. But I
watched the show back in the day.
I watched it 3 o'clock, Channel 7.
Oh yeah, it came on 4 o'clock. I think it came on 4 o'clock here.
4 o'clock.
4 o'clock here on Channel 5, ABC. Oh yeah, I used to watch that shit. Well, gosh, I think we've covered everything.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead. No, what were you gonna say? Go ahead.
No, nothing.
Finish. I know you.
I was going to go into some other stuff, but go ahead.
Oh well, we got a little time.
I'm about to go into a power nap myself.
Everybody got power naps, and we've got other things to do. But go ahead, listen. Thank you for hanging out with us for Hot Topics Thursday. As you know, we will be back for our Married at First Sight recap.
I can't wait to see what Merla's up to.
I got a glimpse of the previews.
I don't watch them. I thought we agreed we weren't gonna watch them previews.
I know it came on really fast. I couldn't change it. So
I don't even try. I try to not even watch them on the internet. It's like the Facebook pages and the IG pages when they give those little previews. I'm like, oh, click, pop. Nope, can't watch it.
That was just the first time and the only time I did it. I won't do it on the regular, but it just because I was getting dressed as I was watching it in the morning. So
very good. Well, I'm gonna go. I'm going to go wash my face and moisturize my face and turn it down, and I'm gonna go lay in the bed and watch my little crime documentaries. But
by the way, just finished the Tina Turner documentary on HBO.
That was wonderful, wasn't it?
I didn't see it.
Really, really good.
It's
really good.
But guess what? I squealed like a pig because Janet Jackson's coming out in January.
What, a documentary?
January or February. She is doing it herself. I mean, it's going to be a lot of people involved in it, but she's going to be talking about her life herself. And it's going to be on Lifetime and on AMC, I believe, starting either January or February. And I cannot wait.
My ex-girlfriend was her assistant.
Really?
Ooh.
That's interesting.
A year and a half, two heavy. I signed an NDA. She couldn't say shit to me. I was like, "Where's the daughter?"
Oh, here's hoping that comes up.
She's denied it all this time. She's not going to talk about that.
Well, apparently from the preview of it, she sat her ass down and was like, "I'm telling you my story, everything y'all been wanting to talk about. We're gonna talk about." But of course,
she ain't gonna say anything.
That's just the lead up.
Not
is it James DeBarge who was married to?
It was James. I think it was James DeBarge.
It was James. I think it was James. Speaking of which, having nothing to do with anything else, I was like, have I ever seen Tina Turner at a concert? And I realized I was at the first annual MTV Video Awards.
What?
The Radio City Music Hall in 1984, where Madonna sang Like a Virgin for the very first time, and she was rolling around in the wedding dress.
I watched it.
I was there.
Wow.
And Tina Turner sang What's Love Got to Do with It? And someone else, I was like, oh man, I forgot. I saw that too. I was like, oh.
You probably
Huey Lewis sang
the moment.
And I appreciate it. And I saw Carly Simon's boob.
Oh, yeah.
That's
okay.
On the side. I was like, I was 16. I'm like, oh my God, Carly Simon. That's her boob.
First of all, how did you score those? How did you get in there?
Sheer dress.
It
was like this. No, my brother-in-law was because Dan Aykroyd and Bette Midler hosted it, and he was Bette Midler's manager or publicist. So got me and my friend from high school 2 tickets, sitting right next to the Stray Cat. Remember the Stray Cats?
Yes.
And ZZ Top played, and everybody in the audience got beards.
He wasn't even up.
Oh no, I was sitting back in Carly Simon.
Damn.
I think I don't know if I had Bet's tickets or something, but the two of us were on the aisle with fucking Carly. I gotta find a video of it because I know you can see me.
Oh my God, the Madonna Like a Virgin. I remember watching that shit, and me and my brother were watching that shit. And I think my mother had come in at some point and was like, what the fuck? Y'all watching that whore? But I loved it. I used to love MTV back in the day. Oh my God, it was so epic. But I'm a little jelly right now at you, Chris, but whatever.
So I was on audio really quick. I was on audiobooks, like looking at audiobooks. And I'm like, I should write a book about, you know, something. I'm like, no, I remember. No, it was like a YouTube sensation wrote a book, a nice story. I'm like, who are all these people with books? It's like everyone's got a book. I was like, I have so many stories that I can have a book, so I need to write a book.
You should,
because I got stories.
I think you should. I also think you should. I mean, the book, whatever, great. I just think that your one-man show would be epic.
Oh yeah, I don't want to talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah,
we'll see. Sophisticated pig. Anyway, all right, girls.
All right.
Bye, everybody. We'll see you guys on the next episode of Still Dope tomorrow for our Married at First Sight recap. Peace out. Love you guys. Do 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 do.